Okay.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. Good
Good
evening. Good
afternoon.
evening, everybody. Welcome to today's session, our
Yep.
refresher training. Mr. Olusegun Opelu, good afternoon. There is show, sir. Mr. Abolaji
Let's
Olawumi,
shoot. Let's shoot.
good
Let's shoot.
afternoon.
Good afternoon. Well, I don't know if you can hear us now. I know Heritage is saying we
Amosu,
can't hear.
good afternoon. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Mr. Olusegun Opelu, thank you for joining. Heritage, welcome. I hope we all had a stress-free day today and also a productive day. So here with me I have, okay, I am Queen Ladimola. I have Akinde
Yes.
in Isiaka. So Akinde, say hello. Precious, say hello, please.
Yes. 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 Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Yeah.
Akinde,
And
say hello, please. Say hello to the house.
yes. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining today's session. We were hoping today we'll be able to wrap up, the virtual training session. Hopefully, we'd also be able to attend to some of us that still have issues and complaints. So, generally, what we are just doing today is to respond to people's issues or respond to people's complaints. So, thank you so much for joining. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So Precious, can you say hello to the house, please? All right. So I think I've lost Precious. I can't hear Precious. So without wasting much of our time, when Precious is in, he's going to say hello. So I think then can we dive straight into it? But before that, um, I would love to say, if you notice, if you've clicked the notification bell on our page, you will be notified anytime we're having content, information, updates. So kindly do well by liking and subscribing to our YouTube channel, and also clicking the notification bell so you get notified for any information. So, Mr. Kinde, please, I would want us to just go straight. So, please also drop your questions. Drop your questions in the comments section. Of course, we have updates for you. And we are all working towards the same aim when it comes to education, making sure we go digitalized, and that is the whole aim. So, please, if you have questions,
Okay, while we are waiting for Queensley to reconnect, all right. So like we said, what we just want to do majorly today is to be able to respond to any questions or any of your issues that you still have that are yet to be resolved, right? So also like Queensley shared, make use of your chat section to drop your questions, drop your feedback, or any feedback that you'd like to share with us, or comment or issues that you're having. All right, so just drop the feedback or the issues there. So we'll be picking those issues or feedback directly from the chat section. All right, so yes, yes, yes. We are getting started for today's session. All right. So for today, nothing so serious because we've been having this session, for quite a while now. All right. So one of the major things that we still always want to, employ or just let all of us know is that for some of us that are still having issues, so what we noticed is that we still have some of us that are still having issues around report card is showing for some classes, then it's showing for some students in the same class, then it's not showing for others in that same class. For that particular category, if you have issues related to that, just know that it is connected to the student registration or subject registration, or any issues that is revolving around viewing
can
report
we
card,
hold
like
it?
you have done the HOS approval, you have done the
Please,
SPA
if
and
you're
HOS
having
approval, right? If you have done
trouble,
those
something
two
in the comment
and
section, a
result
comment
is not
in the
showing,
comment section. So,
right? So
like
if you have done
you
those
said,
two,
you couldn't attend the session on Tuesday. Yes, if you
okay,
can attend the sessions on Tuesday, or probably all of our previous sessions, you can always have on the YouTube page. So, Zoom some updates
All right.
on
So I might just
um,
be picking up because of Queensley's
the
network.
YouTube page. All of our videos, our previous videos done. Precious, can you hear me now? I see you. Can you hear me? Please start dropping our questions. Drop your questions in the comment section, and we are going to pick them all up. So please drop your questions in the comment section. So once more, for those that sections, really go back.
Okay, so I guess while I'm still waiting for Queensley to, get back on board. All right. So what I was saying majorly the other time is, if the challenge that we are still facing is related to unable to view results, all right, just know that it is automatically connected to subject registration, all right, for the students. Okay, what you need to do in that case is to go back to your subject registration page, confirm the subject registered for each of the students, right? Confirm they are correct. The one that they are not doing, uncheck it, all right. So if you have done that as well, you might also want to use the clear score on register subject button at the top. Once you have done that, that will also clear the subject for them. So if any issue, once again, that is related to viewing report card not showing, just know that that issue is particularly connected to subject registration. So just go directly to your subject registration page and check any of the issues, and you can resolve that particular issue from there. Okay, so I just want to pick this question now. Wow. Okay, so this question is from but okay, all right. What are the criteria for completion of the total result? Wow, that because I feel we've passed this stage right now, right? So the ministry sets criteria. It depends on whether your school is a primary school or junior secondary or senior secondary school, right? So there's a standard criteria that has been set, and schools are not meant to change that. All right. So the system will just automatically promote students based on the criteria, minimum criteria that has been set by the ministry. So in this your case now, all right, just go ahead to uploading your scores, right? If you want to check the current criteria that is there, all right. So if you are the SPA of the school, if you go to the menu bar, the sidebar, you click on the um, promotion setting. At the top, you see view default setting. If you click on it, it will show the available criteria that is there. So don't just change it, right? Just proceed to uploading your scores, then recommend promotion or post recommendation as appropriate. So it means that the system will be promoting the students based on that criteria that has been set. Again, once again, you cannot change or go below that criteria that are seen there. So as a matter of fact, it's even advisable, not to make the edit, because that is the minimum score. All right, except if for your school you want to increase the bar, which I feel not much schools are really doing that. All right, so in that case, just leave the promotion criteria setting, the minimum setting that has been set as the benchmark. Leave it there. Just proceed to setting your school, uploading your scores, approving from the broadsheet, then doing the SPA approval, like, and all of that. All right, so the system will do the promotion setting for the students in that way. So I hope that answers your question. And I don't know if most of us are aware, the deadline that was set for third term results to be completed was last Friday, but we pleaded and extended it to this Friday, which is tomorrow, right? But when we checked, we see that quite a number of us have done their upload. Okay, so that is really really encouraging. What I know is that by Friday, which is tomorrow, it might be locked and we will not be able to access the third term score again. So we should please, probably inform other SPAs that are yet to do it. This will be closing tomorrow. Anytime from tomorrow or next week Monday, you might not be able to do anything on third term, because by that time we'll be activating the news act session by then. All right. So just to implore all SPAs or HOS, all schools that are yet to complete their third term promotion setting or promotion result, to ensure that they do that before next week Monday unfailingly. So I hope that answers your question. Okay, so another question that we want to pick here is that how do we change the error on the Google Map pictures? Okay, all right. So thank you so much for asking this question, and I'm so glad or super excited that you have updated your school Google Map, all right, on the platform. That is super interesting. And thank you so much, for doing that. All right, so changing or editing the picture for now is a bug that we have seen, and the technical team are currently working on it. All right. So just so you know, whenever the feature is ready, it is still on that page. You see edit picture. All right. The feature should be active between today and Monday. All right. So you can just check back say anytime over the weekend. You should see the edit picture at the top, right? So you can edit then change the picture as appropriate from there. So I hope that answers your question, Olawumi Kehinde. So you'll be able to thank you for updating your school on the Google Map and also attaching the picture. So you'll be able to make that changes. Just check back over the weekend. You will see the edit picture button. Then you can edit as appropriate. Okay. So I think another question we have from Heritage. I must say a very big thank you to Heritage Multimedia Concept. You've always been engaging, asking questions, and that's really encouraging as well. Okay, so for this question, what can cause it just 2A is visible and just 2B is not visible? All right, so I just said that earlier that anything that is making the results not to show, it means that there's a subject that's registered for students in that class that scores are not uploaded for. All right, so it means that you need to go back to your subject registration for GSS 2B specifically now and check. In most cases, what we have noticed is that probably subject around CRS and IRS are registered for the students in GSS 2B. All right, so just uncheck the one that they are not doing as appropriate. All right, so if you have done that, also use the clear on register subject button, which is also at the top. So that should also help solve that issue. So anything, heritage multimedia concept, anything that is relating to results not showing, just know that it is directly connected to the subject registration. So you can go down there and go and check the subject as appropriate. All right. So I hope this responds to your questions. If it doesn't, please use the chat section and ask for that engagement. Try what I've just shared now, and let's see if it works. If it doesn't, let's see what other solutions that we can provide to that. All right. So thank you so much. All right. Okay, so another question now. Okay, well, thank you for putting up this follow-up question. All right, my question is not on promotion criteria, but it's a question to clarify on my school name on the list of schools that haven't completed third terms and I've done all what is required. Okay, so my apologies for that. I'm so sorry. Okay. So what would be the case, right? If you have done it, ensure that you have done HOS approval. If you have done it, then you don't have you don't have nothing to worry about. Okay. So that list that was shared is just to as at the last time we checked, schools that are yet to complete their total upload. All right. So, but like you said, if you have done the HOS approval and SB approval, and you've also checked that the student report card are showing appropriately, then that's fine. You don't have anything to worry about, on that. So, and I think you also asked a follow-up question, like attendance, psychomotor, score, upload, comment, and all, the approval from the class teacher to the SPA and to the HOS. Okay, good. If you have done all of this, then you're good to go for your school, right? You can go ahead to printing the report card, or students can start checking their report card directly online. All right. So, and I think there's also a follow-up question and primary six placement done. Okay, that's interesting, right? So it means that kudos to you, well done, and it means that you are done, right? So you have nothing to worry about. Okay, so if we have any other follow-up questions, please let's put up the questions here. We would be glad to respond to the question one after the other. Okay, so. Yes. We're expecting your questions, right? So we just all wait a bit. Remember, this is also to inform us to reach out to all other SPs, all other schools that we should try and complete the third term promotion setting latest by Monday, because as at that time we are not sure as at when the third term will be closed. Once it is closed, it means that it is closed. You can't go back to doing third term promotion result. So you have to ensure that you do all of this and you do it quite early enough as well. Okay, so I think there is this question. Okay, okay, all right. So there's this question around a school in my zone. All trade subjects were showing on the broadsheet, and we tried to remove it from the curriculum, and action button is not showing. Okay, awesome. So thank you for this question once again, Heritage. All right, so you can remove the subject from the curriculum. All right. So what you can, the way where you'll be able to remove it is the subject registration. Okay, so let me try and see if I can do a bit of demonstration around that now. Let me try and share my screen. Let me share my screen now to see if we'll be able to do that. Okay, so in this case now, let's say I want to clear the trade subject that we are doing. All right, so once I go to school manager, all right, so I will, if it is trade subject, you see the trade subject registration here. So if I click on it here, it's going to, once the page open, say I select the class, for example. Once I select the class, for example, right, it's going to display the trade subject that we currently have here. So anyone the students are not doing, I can easily just uncheck. Right, you see, it's not unchecking because course have been uploaded for that, for such things. So anyone the students are not doing, you can just easily uncheck here. Remember, don't go to the curriculum and go and delete. You are not to delete subjects there. Like in this case now here, and you want to come and delete here, you know, you can't delete any subject from here. What you can just do is to unregister the subject, and if you're going to do that, it's from the school manager, then the trade subject, right? If it is a trade subject that you are looking for, all right, the other will just go to the subject registration. If that's not the case as well, then you can select the program, then select the class, then uncheck the one that the students are not doing. Then also use the clear register subject. This will clear any other subject at the back end that is registered for the student, and that should automatically solve such issues. So I hope that that answers the question at Heritage concept. Okay. So let's see if we have more questions coming in. Let's see if we have more questions coming in. Okay. Okay, so I think I'm too fast now. My second question is not answered. Okay, Heritage, I hope I have answered the second question now. If I have not, please call my attention to it again in the chat section so I can respond, because that is some of the essence of this session, to be able to respond to some of the complaints or issues that you're having. So if there's still a complaint that is yet to be responded to, please use the chat section. We'll be glad to pick it up from there. Okay, so I think I just saw this now. Please, the broadsheet is giving too much error. In primary 3A, child passed all of its subject, but the system failed to promote the learner. Okay, so probably in this case, what you could do is that try to click on the promote post recommendation button again. All right, the system will be promoting based on the criteria that has been set. Okay, say for example, now that criteria will say that a child must pass mathematics, English, and any other 5 subjects. Probably because that child did not meet any of those criteria. That is why the such student is not promoted. So in that case, what you need to do is to go back to the broadsheet. Probably for that class, disapprove the broadsheet for that class. Once you have disapproved, now approve again on the broadsheet. Once you have approved, click on the post recommendation button, recommend promotion button again. All right, so that should automatically fix it if the student meet those criteria that has been set. So at Kolawale, right? I hope I get that name correctly. Right, so just try that, and you can try it now while the session is still on. So if it works, fine. So if it doesn't, you can give us follow up questions so we can, dig down, or break down the question or the issue down for you. So just try what I said now from the broadsheet. Unpublish. Once you unpublish, disapprove, then approve again. Then after once you are done approving, you need to click on recommend promotion again. Once you click on recommend promotion, you should the changes should take effect. That is if the students meet the cutoff mark that has been set. Okay, so that should solve it. So try it and let's know how it works. Okay. So I think another question that we have here from Abolaji. Okay, please for clarification's sake, when marking register, is it marking for both morning and afternoon? The dossier is not showing number of school open, but number of time the same as. Okay, good. All right. So when you're marking attendance, of course, the attendance has two buttons at the top. There is morning and there is afternoon. All right. So if you are marking attendance, ensure that once you mark for morning, switch to afternoon and also mark afternoon. So the way the attendance work is like the normal attendance setting that we have, where you mark for morning and you also mark for afternoon. Okay, so just go back to the attendance and ensure you've marked appropriately for morning and afternoon. Once you have done that, the attendance should display correctly. All right, I don't know if you can try that now. If you can try it now and let me know what the result is. So if probably if it's a bug, we can quickly check it and help you solve that issue. All right. So I will really be glad if you can try it now. Go back to your attendance page. Then, if you have not marked for afternoon, ensure you marked appropriately for morning and afternoon. Then share the feedback here if it works. So we'll be able to respond to it from there. So allow me, Kende. I hope this solves the issue. So if it doesn't, please use the chat section for further engagement. Okay. So I think we have more further questions coming in right now. Okay. All right. The criteria is 14 English and mathematics and any three subjects. So just check if that's the case. Then if the student meets that criteria, so just quickly do what I suggested, what I asked you to do now. The broadsheet, disapprove the broadsheet for that class alone. Unpublish, disapprove, then approve again. Once you have approved, recommend promotion again. Once the student meets that criteria that was set, the such student will be promoted automatically. Okay, so that should solve the issue. Okay, just try it now. Let's see the feedback. If you can try it now, that would really um be great. Okay, so let's see if you have any other follow-up question. Okay, I think so. This is coming from Heritage again. Okay, no, but the other schools have compressed broadsheet that exactly number of subject offered is showing. But in this case, we have about 37 subject on the broadsheet, but other have about 12. So heritage concept. So this one tells you that what you just have to do is just clear or register subjects. All right. So in this case, right, just go to the subject registration, like I displayed the other time. Subject registration, select that class. You will see the clear and registered subject button that is displaying. Click that clear on register subject. Once that is done, also double check the subject that are registered for the student. Check the trade subject and ensure that the subject are registered for student appropriately in that class. Once that two criteria is met, right, if you have done those two, results will show for those classes or for those students in such categories. So if you can try it now, that would really be interesting. All right, so try it now and you should have the results, as appropriate on that too. So that should solve the issue. Okay, so follow-up questions. There are some SPs that zonal PRS office are using. How can we have the details of schools on our own mail? Well, I'm not so sure if I get these questions correctly. So I would really be glad if you could help to further maybe make a clarification on the question heritage so that I can know how best to respond to the question. There are some SPs that zonal PRS office are using. How can we have details of schools on our own mail? Okay, just if you can help me share for that clarification on the question, that would really be interesting. Okay. All right. So thank you. All right. Awesome. Thank you so much at Kolawole. Okay, good. So get on it now and let's see what the feedback is. So just remember, use the comment section for any of the feedback and let's see how it goes. Right. Part of the essence of this session is to help you through, some of the complaints or issues that you're having. So yes, please get on it and let us know the feedback from there. Okay, so this is from Adeito Adewale. Please, sir, why is first or 2LG are bothering SPS for printed broadsheet? Mr. Loka told us that no paperwork is required. Okay, I'm sure. Is this for primary school? Yeah, definitely. Remember, like we said and we've emphasized that no, brush because you're practically doing all of these things online. All right. So I'm not so sure about this information right now, but brush it. You can get the brush it directly, from your portal. You can export it to Excel and do anything you want to do. If you want to file it for appropriate filing, that is also available as well. Okay, so I hope that should solve all of this right now. All right, so if you have any other follow-up questions, please remember to make use of the chat section. Okay, so we are waiting for more questions to come up. Right, so for those of us that have tried what we've said, please try it and let us know what the feedback are. Okay, so we would wait if you have any other questions. I'm sure Precious is also on this call. Precious, can you hear me? Hello, Precious. Connected. Okay, so I think I have one more question from here. Okay, good. We also filled form for Editam's agent up till now. We don't hear anything. Even Editam's ambassador is not given to us. Okay. All right. So yeah, on that, I don't know. I'm not so sure I know anything about the okay, you mean you filled form for Editam's agent on the Editam's platform or probably on the Editam's website, okay? Quite so much is going on, and probably for now we are trying to uh, maybe see what we can do around the agents. All right, so maybe you get any feedback anytime soon. Then Editam's ambassador, that's super interesting, right? Okay, so be rest assured, once we are ready to go straight into all of these things, you will be um, proper correspondence or communications will be shared with all appropriate bodies. So you would get the notifications whenever we are going straight into all of these things. All right. So my apologies that you are yet to get any feedback around that area, but we definitely communicate. As that when the time is ready on all those things. So thank you, Heritage, for for sharing. All right, so yes. I've tried it now. It's not working. Still the same result. Kolawole. Okay, so I want to really get the issue again. So I'm just trying to go back to I'm trying to go back to your previous message so I can just have a clear around what the issue was again. So okay. Just a sec, I'm trying to go back to your previous question. All right, so the process is giving too much error, primary 3A. All right. Okay, can you probably maybe you should share the child's name and maybe share your school code. So maybe I can ask Precious or Quincy to help you check through and see exactly what is the issue. Probably so just help me drop your school code. Just drop your school code and the child name, probably and the class. Kolawole. So from there I can ask Quincy or Precious to quickly help check through and hopefully it will be solved from there. Okay, so Abolaji, allow me also just share. There is no change on the attendance. So you mean when you mark the attendance for morning and afternoon, you didn't see changes on the report card? Just help me confirm if that is the case. If that is the case as well, also help me drop your school code as well. Once you drop your school code, we could quickly pick it up from there and see what can be done in that area. So, Mr. Laomi Kendi and Mr. Kolawole, please help me drop your school code in this chat section so we can quickly help you check what exactly the issue is from that end. All right. Okay, good. I'm on the broadsheet, Kolawole. The last subject registered varies. Some are 11, 10, and 9 subject as appropriate. Okay, so if this is the case, right, so what you need to do is that go back to the subject registration. Let me try and do a practical demonstration on this, okay? I'm trying to do a practical demonstration, so hold on. I'm trying to share my screen. All right, so Mr. Kolawole, if you can hear me, right, if you're on the page now from the broadsheet, all right, so just come to leave the brushes now. So you come to school manager, then you go to subject registration. So this is what the subject registration page looks like. Select the program, select the class. So it displays all the students in that class for you. Then it displays all the subjects that they are currently registered for. Like in this case now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, so these are all the 9 subjects that the students are currently registered for. So a subject that this student is not doing, just uncheck it. If you uncheck and it's not going, that's probably because the scores have been uploaded for such students. All right. You're not just going to check here alone, you're also going to check the trade subject registration. If I click here, still under school manager, right? So if I click here now, right, so it opens the page, select the program, then of course you select the class. All right, so once you have done it, you display all the names of the students in that class and also the trade subjects that are currently there. So anyone the students are not doing, just uncheck it for them. All right, so once you have done it, that should be set appropriate. Once you have done this again, go back to your subject registration just to double check and be sure that everything is properly, in order. So if you select your class, click on this clear unregistered subject. I know there was also a complaint around broadsheet was displaying a maybe 30 something subject. Someone lodged that complaint. So if that is the case as well for you, just on this your subject registration page, select the program, select the class, then just click on clear unregistered subject. What this clear unregistered subject is doing is that if there are any subject that have been registered for the student at the back end, this button, once you click on it, the action will clear the subject, all right, and it will be appropriate for such students. So once you have checked the subject here that is correct, you also check the subject in the trade subject registration, remove the one that they are not doing and leave the one that they are doing, clear, and you clear the unregistered subject here. Everything should display appropriately for the student. All right. So Mr. Kolawole, you should try this. And the other person that also lodged the complaint around broadsheet displaying 37 subjects, right? So once you also try this as well, so the issue should definitely be be resolved, in such case. Okay, so just let me know, Kendi, so allow me, Kendi, I've said that you can share your school code so we can check why the attendance is not displaying appropriately for your school. Okay. All right, so let's check this out. I'm through my school results, but my school was among the listed school. Okay, so Elizabeth Bamidele, all right, so you have nothing to worry about. Okay, once you have confirmed that you have done the HOS approval and also all the necessary things that you're supposed to do, then definitely don't be bothered about the list, so to say. The list was maybe as at the time when the list was compiled, maybe your school is yet to complete all of those things. All right, so if your school name is appearing on that list, just and you have completed all of those process, then be rest assured that everything is good to go, in such area. Okay, so thank God Precious is on this call. Precious, so I don't know if you can help me quickly check this issue for Mr. Heritage raised. All right, so just let me check. The school code is uh please kindly help us check what I'm saying, brush it off. Please let me check the school code of this. Precious, if you can hear me. This is the school code. Help me check what the issue is with that class in terms of number of subject registration. All right, so help me check and maybe you can now share the feedback once you have checked from there. Precious, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I heard what you said.
Okay, good, good. So just help me check and let me know. Miss Allow Kendi, please also drop your school. Okay. So Precious, you're helping us to check two things. Also, you need to help us to quickly check Miss Me too. She's saying that attendance on the report card is not displaying correctly. All right, so just help me check. And I've told her to mark attendance for morning and afternoon, and she has also confirmed that attendance for morning and afternoon has been marked appropriate. Just help me check what the issue might be. All right, so if it's something that we could resolve, yeah. So this is also our own school code. So you are checking for two, Miss Olawumi school and also Heritage school as well. Okay, so yes, on this question, on this issue of primary six placement, I've done it, but still show placement not set. That's a bit strange, Miss Elizabeth. So if you have done placement, all right, so on the at the front, probably you could try to reload that page. If it is still showing placement not set, it means that the placement has not been set. So you have to do the placement all over again. Let me try and see if I can also make um a bit of demonstration around this now. Okay, okay. So let's try and see if we can do a sample, Miss Elizabeth. So if you can see my screen. All right. So once I click on, if you're on the Play Student page, all right. So it's going to like it's showing now. You see that once I've done placement for these students, right, it's going to show at the front of that student that this is the child, this is the school the student is placed to. Like in this number four now, this child, no placement found. It means that I am yet to do the placement for this child. So just click on the button and click on set student placement, then do the placement as appropriate. All right. So if you have done the placement like you said and it's showing no placement found, what you could do probably is reload the page. All right, try to reload the page or log out and log in again, then come back to the learner's placement page and try to see if it's still the same thing, or the other way around. Just at the session top, switch it to 2022/2023 session. It should also still display the same thing for you. So I don't know if you can quickly try it now, and let's see what the case might look like. So it's something that we can quickly help you solve through right now. So yes. Thank you so much, and just let us know if you can try it now, Miss Elizabeth Bamidele. If you can try it now, then let's see how it works, how it goes. So you can share further feedback, on the comment or the chat section. Okay, can you tell us your name? We know Mr. President. Okay, I'm so sorry. All right, so my name is Akindeni Ishaka. All right, thank you. My name is Akindeni Ishaka once again, right? All right, I know that you are well familiar with Mr. Precious and Miss Quincy, all right, so that's interesting. Okay,
Mr. I, Ice,
yes,
can you
yes,
hear me?
yes. Yes, proceed, please.
Mr. Heritage, Mr. Heritage Multimedia Concept. I'm in that school right now, and I would like to share my screen so you can see the
Awesome,
error.
awesome. Please go ahead.
So, minute, please. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, please. Yes, yes.
All right, Mr. Heritage. This is the school you drop, and if you scroll to the very end of this broadsheet, the total number of subject taken is correct, though that is, it's taking the total number of subjects you register for students. But on this broadsheet now, this is humanities. This is SS1 humanities, but I'm surprised to be seeing commerce, accounting, physics, chemistry on on this broadsheet because these subjects are not meant to be here. They are not meant to be here. But there's a mistake. I don't know when that happened. If I go to your school curriculum now and I choose humanities, See all these subjects here. The reason why all those subjects are showing on your broadsheet is because you've already added them to your school curriculum. I think you did it in first term or second term before the curriculum was loved. Please, Mr. Heritage, are you with us?
Yes, just
Mr.
proceed. I'm
Akintayo,
sure it's definitely on the call. Yes, please.
all right. Yeah. So you see, you've added chemistry, physics, biology, agric, geography, accounting, commerce to humanities curriculum. Senior secondary to humanities. You can see it here. So and for now, I think there is no way you can delete it now. Though we try and find something to do about it. We will try and find something to do about it on that. So with heritage multimedia concept, you have to hold on a bit and probably remind me on WhatsApp, on my WhatsApp and DM. Remind me of this on my WhatsApp DM. We try and find look for something to do about this. But please know that this is an error from your side, but we'll try and rectify it. And the other mistake I could see on this school is that you registered both for this for that same class for that SS1 humanities, and I've talked about it this times without number, that you shouldn't you register both CRS and IRS for all the students. See now, this is Christian religious studies, this is Islamic studies, and check the registration now. You register all for all students, and in this case I don't think all students are offering the same subject, or the two subjects, sorry. So this means that some will have scores and some will not have scores, and in this case the report card can never show this way, because all these subjects are expected to have scores, and if the students are not doing it, there's no way you can upload score for them. So you please fix this. If you don't fix this, your report card will not come up. Don't mind all the subjects, all the other subjects that are not supposed to be here, physics and the rest. You did well by not registering them for the students. So that won't affect your report card. But this CRS and IRS will definitely affect your report card. So please and please fix this. Fix this, please. So I think I'm clear on that, Mr. Killing.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for for that clarification, Precious. And I'm so sure that Heritage is also on this call, so you could share further follow up with him on WhatsApp channel, so he could help you resolve or respond. Just do all what he said you should do, and everything should work well. And also for allow me, Kendi, I just quickly also, since you share your screw code, I just checked through right now. Let me see if I can share my screen. So we can also quickly help you solve the issue that you're also having for your school as well. Okay, so when I check through logging into your school now, noticing that this is, for example, primary 5B, right? That you are the class teacher, for example, now. So you see that attendance is yet to be marked. Because attendance is yet to be marked, that's why the attendance on the student report card will not be correct or will not reflect as appropriate. So in this case, what you need to ensure is that all class teachers, remember, those who can mark attendance are teachers that are assigned as class teacher. All right. So in this case now, I can still go back to say, for example, week one, right? So okay, I've marked attendance for all of these cases. So I was checking for week 15. All right, let's say week 10, for example. All right, you see the attendance is yet to be marked for most of the students, right? For morning now, for this day, for example, let's check. Uh, so in this case now, I only marked one. I didn't mark for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So that could be some of the major reasons. And remember, you are marking for morning. Once I'm done marking for morning, I switch to afternoon for that particular day. This is Tuesday. Okay, let's just do a practical example. Week 10, for example, now I come here. This is Monday. I select Monday. All right. So it pops up. There are two buttons. There's a morning and there's also the afternoon. So if I'm marking for morning, I select morning. Monday is open. I mark as appropriate those who are absent or those who are present. Once I'm done marking for morning, I switch to afternoon. All right. Once I switch to afternoon, I mark as appropriate. That's for Monday. If I'm marking for Tuesday, I select the day here. I select Tuesday. Okay. Once that is done, for morning as well, I mark is this child present. I mark if the child is present. Once I'm done marking morning, I switch to afternoon, then I mark as appropriate as well. So all of Mr. Weekend, you might need to go back and check each of the week and ensure that attendance will mark as appropriate, so that should help solve the issue. And remember, check whether attendance is marked for morning and also for afternoon. All right, so I think once you have done that, everything should be set appropriately. So just go back to check that you marked for the days as appropriate, okay? Because it is what you mark that will definitely reflect on the student report card. Okay, so just once you have done that, everything should display as appropriate. So you might want to try that and let me know before the end of this session. Use the chat section and let us know, how well it is going on. All right. All right, so let's see if we can respond to further questions. Yes, yes, yes. I see more questions coming in. All right, so this is a question. Okay, Precious, I don't know if you can help me check Mr. Kolawoli's school as well. His own is also has to do with broadsheet. Let me see. This is the school code that is currently on the broadsheet. The total number of subjects that is displayed is like too much. All right. I've asked him to use, I don't know, Mr. Kolale, I'm not so sure if I'm capturing the issue correctly. If I'm not, please use the chat section to help us call our attention to the issue again. But I'm sure, I think the issue is around number of subjects displaying on the brushes. So quickly help check. That would also be nice. Okay, I'm trying to go back to the next question right now. Okay, I want to ask when we are moving promoted students to next class and when are we planning to have more. Okay, we are planning to have one more science. Okay, so I'm not so sure if I get this other question. All right, so the other question, the first question around moving students to their promoted class. If you notice on your broadsheet, right, those students that have been promoted, they have. Let me see if I can share my screen on this now. Let me see if I can share my screen. Miss Olawumi, please permit me to use your school broadsheet uh, for this demonstration. All right, so let's just say, for example, let's use primary four. Okay. In this case, now once I'm on the broadsheet, right? So if I switch to this, so I'm trying to show us how we can promote students to the next class. The student has been promoted, but how do we now set them to whether they will be in primary 4B, GS1B? How do you set them to the appropriate class arm? All right. So in that case, on the broadsheet here, you can do this at your leisure time. All right. Do it as at when you have the time to do it. Just ensure that you do it before resumption for the next term or for the next session. All right. So on the broadsheet, each of the students they have this button here. So whichever of the class arm that you want to place this child to, if you want this child to be in, it's going to display all the available arms for that class. So whichever of the arm that you want this child to be, I want this child to be in primary 5B, I said primary 5B. If it is primary 5A, I said primary 5A. All right. So the moment the new term is activated, it is the class arm that the student has set here that the student will be automatically moved to. All right. So remember, as SPA, we can do it at our leisure time over the break, over the holiday period. Once you are at your leisure time on the broadsheet, each at the front of each student per class, you can decide what class arm that you are placing them. So just click on it. It's going to display the available class arm. Then you can now select which of the class arm you are placing the student to as appropriate. Okay, so that's how easily we will be able to place students into their available class arm. Once you have done that on the broadsheet, immediately the new term is activated, the new session term is activated, the system will automatically move the students, directly to the appropriate classes, like that. Then in to answer your other question, when are we planning to have one more science class? I'm not so sure I understand what this other question. So if you can use the chat section to further ask more clarification, or just be clear about that question, so we'll be able to answer the question. I don't know, Precious. Please don't forget, help me check the school from Mr. Kolawole so we can check if it is something that we can quickly help him fix.
Mr. Kolawole, what's the issue?
Yes, this is the school code displaying on the screen. I think the issue was around the broadsheet. Subject that is displaying on the broadsheet is more than subject that the student is registered for. Mr. Kolawole, if you could help share further follow-up questions in the chat section, so questions can quickly help you check what the issue is. Okay, so Elizabeth Bamidili. Okay, but the action button appropriate school place is in front. All right, so if this is the case, it means that you have to redo the placement. You have to redo the placement for such students. All right, you have to redo. If you click on it, like I said, log out first and log in again, or try to refresh that page. Maybe it's network of the device that you are using. Once you have logged out and logged in again, and it's still the same thing, that way you are still not seeing the school, the school that the child is placed at their front. It means that the placement has not been done. So you just do redo the placement all over again. So I hope that answers your question. Okay, so this question is from Ojedewu Samuel. Right, those who have used 2021/22 session to place their pupils, what would happen to their? Of course, definitely nothing will happen. You don't have to worry about all of that one. All right, so the system will automatically check because placement is definitely for 2022. It's for a term or for a session. All right, so Mr. Ojedewu Samuel, you don't necessarily have to worry about all of that. The system would check around all of those parameters and place the students as appropriate. So you have nothing to worry about, or in any of such scenarios as well. Okay, so I think this is a follow-up question from Ms. Abiola Adetumobi, right? So good evening, house. When are we allocating classes to newly promoted students? Can we erase those classes and create another one if the number of classes increased? Okay, all right. So, like I said, you'll be able to do that from the broadsheet. Like I just did the demonstration the other time, right? From the broadsheet, you'll be able to place the student to the appropriate classes. And of course, yes, you can create new class arms. Say, for example, we have the class arm that we have is full. So you can create the class arm as appropriate for your school. All right. So that is also easy, and you can also do that from there as well, Mr. Abiola Adetumobi. All right, so this is another follow-up question. So Precious, I might need you to check this. Good day, sir. Please, on the issue of primary six placement, it is showing no record found. G14005. Please look into these things. So Precious, I don't know if you can help check this code, if this is something that, so maybe we can give feedback before the end of this session. And I'm sure we have just about 10 minutes to wrap up this session. So if you can quickly check, it'll be something that we could look into. The complaint is that uh, placement is showing no records found. All right. So I don't know. Probably this school, is your school a public or private school? But definitely it should be a public school. All right. So the only reason why it's not showing placement is probably because catchment area has not been set for your school, or maybe your school is not eligible for placement. But I will wait till when Precious check what the issue is, and maybe we'll be able to share the feedback around that. So Precious, please, if you're on this call, please can you help us check what the issue might be with this call? Right, Precious, are you on it? Just let me know if you can hear me.
Yes, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Okay, good. So just quickly help us check the issue with the school. So Ms. Tonyola Yemi, Precious is helping you to check what the issue might be, and it will share further feedback as soon as it has it ready. So we can just quickly go to the next question because we have just about 10 minutes to wrap up the section. Okay, this is from Adedon Adewale. So Arabic was giving me problem, but I couldn't see it on that subject registration. Not until I was assisted by your team. I get to know why I couldn't see it myself. Okay, so this question I did on Adewale. So probably Arabic was under trade subject. So that's why you're not seeing it under the subject registration for the pupils, right? So, but I'm sure if you check your subject registration, check the trade subject. In subject registration, you have the trade subject registration, and you also have the subject registration. So probably where you checked before was just the subject registration, and there is also the trade subject. So Arabic must have been placed under that trade subject registration. So that's why you are not seeing it. But if you check the trade subject registration, you should be able to see it from there. Okay, so I hope that answers your question. Joshua, just let me know as soon as you have feedback around the school complaint earlier.
All right, all right.
Okay. And I'm sure Quincy is also back on this call. Thank you for joining back, Quincy. Let me know if you can hear me so you can also respond to some of the questions we have.
Okay, yeah, I can hear you.
Awesome. Good, good, good. All right. So let's see if we can take up this question, Quincy. All right. So this school code has complained in junior school report sheet. Before publishing, it gives error of HOS approval notification. But after publish, it gives error for both SP and HOS approval. Please help check. Okay. So just like we have been saying, if you have done HOS approval and you have done SPA and HOS approval and you've done the recommended promotion appropriately, and the result is not showing, then it means that the issue has to do with subject registration. So just like Mr. Precious was explaining the other time, and the way I also made the demonstration, go to the subject registration page, select the program and the class. All right. First of all, click that clear or register subject button. Once you click it, now check the subject that are displayed in per class, that the subject are registered appropriately for students. Now, most of the common issue that we have noticed is that, for example, primary school or junior secondary school, where we have CRS and IRS, they are registered for all the students. In that case, just check the subject that the students are not doing. Once you have done that, the result should display appropriately. Also, the two places that you are checking, so you Wale Motura, you are checking subject registration. What you are checking in subject registration is the program, you are checking per class. Check that the subject that is displaying, subject are registered appropriately. The one that they are not doing, uncheck them. Check specifically for CRS, IRS, those elective subjects. All right, so once you have done that, click the clear on register subject button, which is at the top of the page. Once you have done that as well, you also need to check the trade subject registration. All of this thing is under school manager. So if you check the trade subject registration, it's going to display all the subjects that are currently available on the trade subject. So the one that the students are also not doing, like we notice that some of them have Arabic. So if you are not doing Arabic, uncheck Arabic or uncheck any other subject that they are not doing.
Hmm.
Once you have done these two things, results will display appropriately for the student. So you can try it and let us know how the whole thing, further goes. All right. So okay. So let's see. Okay, Mr. Precious, I think Mr. Kolawole has further shared what the issue is. I think the issue was with primary three specifically. So if you can also help check this. So we have two feedback that we're expecting from you, Precious. We have the that of the what's it called now, placement, and also if you have any feedback for Mr. Kolawole, just let us know what if there are any feedback yet on either of those. So we have just about 6 minutes more to wrap up this session, right? Let's see how fast we can go in responding to other questions that we have. Okay, so I think there's a question from Allow Me Kende. If there is no school, maybe public holiday or industrial strike, are we to touch the register, sir? No. So there is no need for you to mark for that day. All right, there is no school. So there's no need for you to mark for, just leave that day open that way and go for the other days that are available. Okay,
I'm
so
learning.
drilling it down, the question, Precious, Mr. Kolawole has further drilled down what the issue was. Number of subject and some learner merit promotion but was not promoted. Okay, Mr. Kolawole, if you just quickly could give a sample student, please just drop it in the comment section so Precious might quickly help you check that. You said primary three. Can you give us a sample student that was not supposed to be promoted, that was promoted, or that's supposed to be promoted that was not promoted? So Precious can help you check what the issue is. Well, meanwhile, Precious, let me know if you have any feedback yet for that of the placement. So we could.
The placement, about the placement, the school say, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, please go ahead.
All right, the school is a secondary school,
Okay, if you can share your screen,
and
that will be fine as well.
it the school is a secondary school. Are you with me?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
think the person wants to post JSS3. I want to place a JSS3 student, and
Oh, oh,
yeah, I think
okay.
that would be done through care of a thing or something.
Yes, yes, yes. All right. And I think there's also one clarification that we need to make. We've been having this question over and over. Placement currently is majorly for primary school. They are the one placing students, right? And what you'll be doing is once they are done with the placement, you'll now be accepting the students to your various and maybe putting them into their respective class arm. All right. So placement for now, we've not seen any secondary school doing placement, but majorly around primary school. All right. So I'm sure that should solve the question. So Mr. Bola Jalan, I'm sure I've answered this question. So if there's public holiday, there's no need to mark the attendance for that. They just leave it open like that. So I think there's other follow-up question. Number of subject register is clear now, but the criteria issue. Okay, so I don't know. The criteria is around the criteria, all right. If the student does not meet the criteria that has been set, that is when the such student will not be promoted, all right. Once you click recommend promotion button, maybe you should try, Mr. Kola, try and go back and click the recommend promotion button again. That should help to solve the issue. If you have confirmed that everything is set around the subject registration, right? Once that is done, check then just use the recommend promotion. Only if the student does not meet the available criteria, that's when the system would not promote such student. But if you have any particular student in this case, you can give the student example. Just follow up with us on the WhatsApp channel because we should be wrapping up this session in the next 3 minutes. Just follow up with us on the WhatsApp section. So either Precious, Quincy, or me can help you check what exactly the issue is. Okay, so I think okay, so moving on. Let's quickly check further questions that we can take. Okay, let me see this. In considering the information concerning subject registration, and yet the result did not open, then what is the way out? Many times. Okay, many times. Well, I don't like infidelity. Like I said over and over again, anything that is making, if you have done SP approval, recommend promotion, then HOS, you have done post recommendation, you have also done HOS, and you have published the results. Ensure that after HOS has done post recommendation, you have published the result from the HOS. Once you have published the result, that is when student can go to view the result. So if you have done those all of those things and the result is not showing, then definitely the issue is from the subject registration, like we have been saying. So you might need to just go and check your subject registration, check those elective subjects around CRS, IRS, Arabic, and all of that. Check that they are only registered appropriately for students that are taking them. Then you might also want to use the clear on register button that is usually in the subject registration page. Once you do all of this, the student result would display as appropriate. Okay, so I'm sure we've exhausted all questions that that we have now. So Precious, I don't know if you have any other feedback or follow up before we close it or call it or wrap it up for today's session. And yes, this is the final session that we'll be having. In subsequent time, we'll be communicating if we'll be having a virtual party or we are still thinking or working around it, but I'm sure we'll communicate whatever it is or what our decision will definitely be on. So all right, so we'll do all of that and let you know. So Precious, I don't know if you have any feedback or further clarification or remark because we should be wrapping up this session in the next 1 minute.
I don't have any
Okay,
this
so
thing
so
for
you might
now.
just proceed to give me your closing remark then. So
All right, thank you once again for joining us for today's session. Though it was we dropped the link very late, but thanks and thank you for still making it a day with us. And please and please, please and please, most of the questions people are asking around and report card and the rest, We've dropped solution about this both on the WhatsApp platform and about 3 to 4 sessions, virtual session like this were done about that. So please and please kindly go back to the previous sessions, watch what we said, and every step that I highlighted for you, please and please learn to follow them. And after doing that, your report card will definitely come up. So thank you once again. God bless you all.
Yes, yes, yes. So thank you so much, Precious, and thank you so much, everyone, for joining today's session. Right, like I said once again, this is the last session that we're having around, virtual support or virtual training. Any other follow up will be shared around the various WhatsApp updates channels that we have. Okay, so thank you so much, everyone, for joining today's session once again. Like I said, we are looking towards hosting a virtual. Thank God Quincy is here, so she will be able to also give a virtual closing remark as well. So we are looking towards having a virtual hangout session. Hopefully, once we are done with all the necessary planning, we will definitely communicate and share when the, I'm sure we are all super excited and looking forward to that day as well. So we'll share the feedback and let us know what our final decision and all of that. So any other feedback or questions that you have, please ensure to share them um, on the various WhatsApp channel. We'll be taking all of the responses from there and also ensuring that we help you solve all the issues that you have. And yes, 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 don't forget to also subscribe to the our YouTube channel so you can always get notifications, and once we have any information or once we share any important updates, so you can always get it from there. So thank you once again. I'm sure, I don't know if Quincy is here on this call now, so if she can give a closing remark as well. Quincy, are you on this call? Can you hear me? Okay, I think I can hear you now, Quincy. I can hear you. Probably just unmute and try and see and give your closing remark. Okay. Well, while we are waiting for Quincy, we'll just call it a or wrap up today's session. So thank you once again, everybody. Thank you for joining today's session. And yes, yes, yes. Thank you, and thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, everybody. Goodbye.